do, baby? Y'all hit me with a bruh if y'all can hear me. For once, I got the camera and some audio going right at the stream. Episode number 70 of NetworkBruh LiveLabs. Let's go ahead and launch up. Let's see. Today's labs are, we did the disabling of auto negotiation of trunking. We're going to do configuring Dhcp snooping along with configuring 802.1x, which is a form of port security. However, you'll use a third-party device to do the authentication. Remember, we did it locally on our ports yesterday, right? Remember, I had my daughter's laptop plugged to the switch and shut the port down because she thought she could play her Barbie games by going to the data center and then getting internet access that way. No, we set up port security to block her from doing that, right? We're gonna do another form of port security. Now, I haven't really. I might have to get a little help from Fat Finger Squad on that one because you can't use packet tracer on it, and I did not have the AAA server. I finally imported it into GNS3, so guess what? I'm gonna use GNS3 today, and I'm gonna try to fumble my way through that lab right there. Now, the Dhcp Snooping Lab, I definitely have a good grasp on that concept. This is why I like going back to the fundamentals and stuff like that, filling in the gaps in my knowledge and just remembering some of this stuff. You know, you learn a topic from like an exam, like let's say in my case, the CCNA exam. I took that exam 2-3 years ago, right? Practiced it maybe like once or twice, got tested on it, or maybe maybe a question showed up on this topic right here or not. I don't even remember because it was 2 or 3 years ago, right? And since then, haven't touched it. So this is why I like labbing with you guys and just doing this over and over again. Anyway, so I'm going to start with the Dhcp Snooping Lab, which that's definitely something I know how to do. We'll go ahead and I'm going to do it on packet tracer since I do not have an actual DHCP server in here. Y'all know I like using my hardware, but I guess we could use GNS3 too. I guess we'd have been able to use GNS3. But I don't know how to set up a DHCP server on here. Let me see. Could you set up I'm sure you can set up a DHCP server from... Oh, I could have used like a router or something. But I'm going to use packet tracer just for this lab. We haven't used packet tracer in a while. And we're going to kiss it goodbye once we're done with this book. Which, by the way, if this is the first time you're tuned in, this is the book we typically use or get our labs from. 101 Labs, Cisco CCNA version 4. You get a copy of this from 101labs.net. Or there's a link in the description box below. It is an affiliate link, so I do get commission from it if you click it. It's authored by this guy named Paul Browning, and I love this book because you know y'all know I like to have somebody lead, and I follow the way, right? And hopefully you guys are doing the same. So go ahead and launch up whatever application. I'm going to use packet tracer for once, right? And let's see what we got going on here. We got Pete S in the building. What's going on, Pete? You tuned in from Australia. Is that correct? If I remember correctly. Shout out to Dave W in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. Go ahead and drag and drop. Y'all notice I'm not gonna have any whatchamacallit today. Any topology. So since we can lay out the topology here and y'all could actually see my devices and stuff like that, as opposed to when I'm using my hardware. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag and drop one PC. See what the lab looks like. Yeah, one PC, one switch, and a server. So I guess I could have done that on GNS3. I would just have a router be the DHCP server. What switch am I going to use? I like to use switches are under network devices. No, they're not. They're under switches. I'm gonna grab a 3650 like this guy here, and then we're gonna need a DHCP server. So I'm gonna go with the server. And we'll turn on DHCP services and see if we can get that going. Yep, he's in Sydney. That's what's up, Pete, man. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. I really appreciate your help and stuff like that, too. And so I watched the other stream the other day. I'm like, this dude really be helping me out, man. I really appreciate that, man. Not just me, but you help other people out in the chat. So I really appreciate that, man. Let's go ahead and cable these bad boys up. The DHCP client, this guy right here, he's going to be plugged up to GI01. So let me get the cable going here. What we got on the news today? Crypto took a dump today, man. Woo! Where are my crypto boys at, man? I hope y'all, man, listen. You know what's funny? I'm not gonna make fun of the crypto boys because I actually invested in Dogecoin. Yes, the damn parody coin, right? And the funny thing about that was while I'm plugging all this up, I'll tell y'all my story. I actually did invest in Dogecoin. I didn't really know what the hell it was. All I know is that the shit was trending and everybody was saying, jump on the wave, right? He's supposed to be on GI02. What's he doing? So I said, fuck it, let me just go ahead and do it, right? And this was like my year of investing and stuff like that. I normally don't invest. And I said, let me go ahead and jump onto that wave, right? Did that. And, you know, it was going up for a little bit. And then, you know, I had some bad weeks, some good weeks. And I just was like, you know, and this is me just getting used to investing and stuff like that. And y'all know cryptocurrency is such a volatile market, right? And, you know, just one day you see the shit just look like it's taking a tank, and you just like, and the next day it's like it's up there. So that's when I realized, okay, you got to be patient with this stuff, right? Did that, and then for a while, I want to say in the like March, it was just really even. Like it wasn't like I was up like maybe $100, $150 or something like. I was like, man, this ain't money, man. So I just said, you know, I want to cash into something else, man. So I cashed out, right? Maybe about, I don't remember when it was. Maybe a couple weeks later, when Elon Musk just pretty much name dropped Dogecoin, and that shit skyrocketed, right? Man, I look back, I did the math. I could have made like $1,000 right there, man. I was so mad. Maybe it was like, I'm exaggerating. It was probably about 800 to about 1,000. Cause I invested, how much was it? It was about $500, and the rest of it, I had put money into something else. I don't remember. But I had a total of like $2,000. But I was just like, I'm gonna just in case this you know, this don't take off. And you know, I put in $500, and it just yeah, it was even for a while, and then it finally skyrocketed once I want to say Elon Musk's, he name dropped it in like Saturday Night Live or something. So go ahead and cable up the switch to the DHCP server. The DHCP server is gonna have the address of 192.168.1.2. So I'm gonna go ahead and place a note there just in case somebody want to catch up. 192.168.1.2. And then who is the client going to be? This is just the 1.0 network, so just in case, not 192.168.1.0 network /24. And I believe the switch, I don't know if we're going to do any IP addressing. I don't know. Let's see. We'll see. Dhcp snooping is a feature that enables a network to trust only the required DHCP servers in the network to prevent rogue DHCP servers from providing malicious information. So I'll give you a prime example. This happened in my job. I wasn't around, but my boss told me about it. We have like these people that, yes, students will come on campus, and they'll probably have like, I don't know, maybe or maybe not even students, just like people that work in the offices and stuff like that, bring their like little portable printer or whatever, and they don't realize that the printer can be used as a DHCP server and start handing out IP addresses. So somebody will walk into the office, maybe looking for Wi-Fi, and they're like, hey, I need an IP address. And then the printer will give them an IP address, and but little do they know, it is a fraudulent device handing out IP addresses. It would be considered a rogue DHCP server, right? So one way to mitigate that problem, at least on our network, is by configuring DHCP snooping. It's a way to kind of not trust any other devices as a DHCP server. Only trust the one we have on our network as a DHCP server. You can get that through our Wi-Fi access points or through the Ethernet cable, whatever. But anybody else, we would consider them a rogue device. So you still made a plus, man. Yeah, I made about $100 or something like that. But I could have made way more than that, Pete, man. I was so mad, man. That's when I realized you really got to be patient. You really have to be patient. Shit, like right now, I'm invested in. I'm not gonna say what I'm investing in right now, but it seriously took a dump. Oh, it really took a dump. And no, it's not cryptocurrency, but it seriously took a dump. And right now I got to ride the wave. And, you know, my boss, he kind of like, you know, he kind of schooled me into investments and stuff like that. And he told me, whenever you're in the hole, just hold on to it until, even if you finally break even and make 10 cents, go ahead and cash out if you really want to right there. But don't ever sell when you're at a loss. So that's one thing I learned. And obviously what goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. So, and it did happen with this specific stock that I, you know, put some money in and stuff. So, task, that's what the explanation of DHCP. Does anybody know, like, have any questions on DHCP snooping or anything? Y'all let me know. We will focus only on the switch side of the configuration. So this guy right here. The server and the clients are already configured. No, they're not. We're going to have to do it, right? We're going to make him 1.2. We got to make the PC. He's going to get a IP address from DHCP. Packet Tracer will let you enable DHCP and the pool on the server and allocate the IP address its own. For the client, you can configure it to use DHCP to obtain IP information, right? So task 1, configure the host names. Y'all know how to do that. We'll go ahead and do that, right? Slide in the power supply. What are you guys using? EvenG, Packet Tracer, GNS3. I think for the next lab, I'm going to try to do GNS3. I'm going to fumble my way through it. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with 802.1x, and I did not have. I mean, I guess we could do it on Packet Tracer, but the book even said you can't do it on Packet Tracer. So there's some commands that you can't do. So I said, let me try to do it on GNS3. Well, guess what? I don't have the AAA server. I just imported it just before the stream, but not enough time to really like teach you guys what I know. So we're gonna have to do this together, man. He said, not to get off topic, just diversity over time. So if so, something dumps. Overall, your portfolio doesn't feel as much. I'm a beginner too, though. Yes, exactly. You need to diversify your portfolio. That is very true. However, I only got like $2,000 in my portfolio right now, so ain't really no sense in having 500. And like I was doing, I was putting 500 in Dogecoin and then 500 in this and 500. It's like that. That's not money, man. $2,000 ain't shit, man. So until I make a lot more, you know, if I have a bigger portfolio, a lot more money invested in, then yes, diversification is important. But when you got that's a little chump change. Maybe it might be chump, it might not be chump change to y'all or whatever. But you know, it's or to whoever. But it's not really much that I need to diversify. I don't tolerate Packet Tracer slander. It's pretty, man. Listen, FaZe, I was a big Packet Tracer fan too. I still am. I love Packet Tracer. There's a lot you can do, and it supports a lot. It has come a long way. You know, back in the day, I remember they didn't even have what they didn't have. They got like Meraki servers on there now. It supports Internet of Things, a whole bunch of stuff. So, okay, the switch is powered up. Let's see, somebody done got off stream there. So let's go ahead and get to working, right? So no, but yes, Packet Tracer came a long way. I like it. It's just, y'all know, we get a little bit more advanced. We need to move on. Lordy, lordy, lord. There's one thing Packet Tracer supports is domain lookups, right? Go to global config mode. IP, no, host name, he is switch 1, right? Yeah, he's switch 1. Task 2, enable DHCP snooping globally, and then on specific VLANs. So you could enable DHCP globally, right? So turn it on the whole switch, or you can set up DHCP snooping on specific ports. So, and why would we want to do that? Let's say we took a laptop, right? And my daughter's laptop, right? She walked into the data center because she's like, hey, daddy works here, right? And she tried to plug in, bloop. But that port does not trust anything that's not a DHCP server. If we untrust that port, then I don't think no, it just won't accept DHCP requests. Because soon as she plugs up to the switch, she's going to request a DHCP address. We're going to block anything, any kind of request, any kind of DHCP messages with DHCP snooping. We can do that with each individual interface. But we're going to do it globally, so any of the ports will have DHCP snooping on it. And that's what we're going to do here, right? So back to the switch, and he said to enable it globally. All DHCP servers, no, not services. All DHCP commands start with IP, DHCP, right? DHCP, the question mark you can see. You can do excluded address, pool, relay, snooping, right? What we can do here? Snooping, right? So snooping, that basically turns on DHCP snooping. I don't think there's any other options, right? Oh, yes, that's right. They asked us to do the VLAN. So my bad. You got to add that. So, and this is why is a good question mark. And it's probably why they got rid of the simulators, because you could, the simulations in the exams. You can just question mark your way through and use process elimination to figure out what you need to do, right? Well, we said VLAN, right? And then 1, because that's what he said, right? Make sure that's, enable DHCP snooping globally, and then turn on, and then on the specific VLAN 1. That's how we do it. Enter. We could we ain't gonna verify it just yet, but we won't, because they're gonna ask us in task 4. Task 3, make sure that switch 1 trusts the connection to the DHCP server. Where is that? This is the connection to the DHCP server. So that means we want to trust this port. Well, DHCP snooping is turned on in globally. That means he don't trust nobody. He don't trust nobody right now. We need to turn on a port that we trust. That's how we do it. If you don't turn it on globally, it's like the opposite, right? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Professor Black Ops in the building. Shout out to HVM in the chat for sure. We got Jason Cliff in the building. Man, appreciate you guys for tuning in. So yeah, DHCP snooping, you can turn it on globally, right? That means you're not going to trust none of your ports. Anybody that plugs in, then we're not going to trust any kind of DHCP requests or offers on here, any kind of DHCP messages on here. Actually, more like offers, but that's just to prevent rogue DHCP servers, right? Now, we're going to say which ports we trust. Which task 3 says, make sure that switch 1 trusts the connection to the DHCP server, which is that port right there. What? Gig 101. So we'll even test it with my daughter's laptop right here, right? Or her PC. Actually, let's give her a laptop, since we always give my daughter a laptop. She always trying to sneak into the data center and try to get internet connection so she can play her Barbie game. All right, so don't delete that guy. Go back to the switch, and we're gonna trust this DHCP server, right? Because we trust this guy right here. That is our DHCP server. We trust him. Where's he connected to? Gig 101, right? Go to global config mode, interface GI 101. That puts us in the configuration mode for that interface. And we say, I think it's just DHCP snooping, or is it IP DHCP snooping? I can't even remember. IP DHCP snooping. There it goes. Question mark. And you can limit the trust. So that means sometimes you could flood. You can, like, this is another way of denial of service attack. You can have your laptop, or let's say my daughter knew how to somehow create some kind of like DHCP, flooding, right? And create a whole bunch of DHCP requests, right? Well, we can limit to how many requests come in, or DHCP offers come in with DHCP snooping limit, right? But right now we're just trusting this port right here. That's what the DHCP snooping trust command does, right? So we trust that port, but we don't trust any other port. And then we'll see what happens if, you know what? We'll make pretend that, not a laptop. We're going to make pretend my daughter's going to have a server. Somehow she went in my house and got a hold of a server. And she's going to be a DHCP server, right? And we'll see what happens when we do that. So we trust this port right here. But that's not what the lab called for. We'll do it anyway, though. So. And then task 4, check the DHCP status by running the following commands. Show IP DHCP snooping. And this is the final task too. Show IP DHCP snooping and show IP DHCP snooping binding. Say that 5 times. Show IP DHCP snooping binding. This is going to let us know, it's going to bind the host to its IP address and who got it, right? Let's go to this guy. We trust that port now. We said show IP DHCP, not the binding part, the one without the binding. Show IP DHCP snooping. And we got a wealth of information here. Let's see what we got. Bring that bad boy up. Y'all any questions or anything so far? We got Fasasi in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. We're talking about DHCP snooping. Typically, we use this book right here if you're just getting caught up. 101 Labs Cisco CCNA version 4. You get a copy of this from 101labs.net, or there's a link in the description box below if you want to follow along. But we're almost done with this book. We're on lab number 104. So if you want to watch the other live labs that I did, you're going to have to replay those old streams, because we're going to move on to the CCNP topics, which is a lot more difficult than this. More topologies, or more devices of the topologies, more advanced topics. And I'm going to take you guys along with me, because I'm going to be studying for the CCNP NRC exam. Where we at here? So IP DHCP snooping. What we got here? We said right now DHCP snooping is disabled. Interesting, right? We thought we enabled it. However, it says DHCP snooping is configured on the following VLANs. VLAN 1. That's what we did right there. It's operational on the following VLANs. It's operational there. Smart log. Not too sure what the hell that is. I might have to Google that. Underdog, put that on a t-shirt for me. Let's look it up, because I don't know. And I'm not going to make pretend I know. Y'all know. I'm just teaching y'all everything I know. And what I don't know, I'll let y'all know. Smart log. There's some kind of feature. Obviously. Show login. Smart log displays the wrong host name. I put smart log DHCP. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too deep into it, but y'all know I'm trying to look at every nook and cranny before moving on to the CCNP topics. Trying to know as much as I can. Don't see much on it. DHCP snooping smart log. Oh, here's packet pushers. That's a pretty good site. He just says DHCP snooping, and that's it. He don't really talk about smart log on here. But we'll leave that for now. We'll look it up later if anybody else knows. Phase 114 got the book, man. Appreciate you for getting that book, man. Hopefully you got it from my link, but it's all good if you went straight to the site. It's all good though. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna be going over did you get the CCNP book or the CCNA book? Cybersecurity for the people. Yep, for sure, man. Y'all check out his channel. He does a lot of cybersecurity stuff, man. Smart log, yeah, not too sure what that is. So DHCP snooping is configured on the following layer 3 interfaces. Insertion of option 82 is enabled. I believe that's like DHCP request. I can't even remember. Remote ID is that? I believe that's the MAC ID of the DHCP server. Let's see. Or MAC ID, MAC address 26C8. Let's see, 2 something C8, right? Interface. That is not his MAC address. His MAC address is EEB7. Is it for the interface? Let's see. Show interface GI 101 1/0/1. That is not the burn address. That's the burn address. B201. Nope. So this is pretty cryptic to me. I don't know. Never really ran this command very often. DHCP snooping. I didn't really use it very often either. Unlimited. This is not good either. But we could change the limit. Remember, we could change the limit on how many requests and stuff like that we get. So we trust this port. Option 82. Anybody remember what option 82 was? I know it has something to do with DHCP. Is it allows DHCP requests or DHCP relay? Can't remember. Option 82. Your link, bro. CCNA and getting CCNP. That's what's up, man. I appreciate you for getting it from that link. But option 82 is definitely DHCP. Just can't remember what it is. Let's get a refresher for me. Option 82 in DHCP is yep, I was right. DHCP relay. So, and y'all remember what DHCP relay is, right? Basically, like let's say you don't have a DHCP server in your network, but there is one in a remote network. Well, to get to that remote network, you and that device that sits between you and the remote network needs to be a DHCP relay. So basically, he'll be the middleman between the DHCP server and you on the other side. So I'm in the middle. I would be considered the DHCP relay, right? And option 82 allows you to reach out to a DHCP relay. That's all I see. That looks pretty. But yeah, I guess I thought that's what it said, enabled. No, DHCP snooping is disabled. But I thought because we did this right here, it enabled it on VLAN 1. Right? So, but there it says it's enabled. Switch DHCP snooping is it disabled? I don't know. Verification of agent. Yeah. So let's do this. The binding part, we can't do that until we make a DHCP request. So we'll have to do that, right? So we add the keyword binding. We can see who got an IP address versus a with their lease and all of that stuff, right? We have nothing yet. So we're gonna make this guy, the client, make a request to the server and then get a DHCP server. He should theoretically get it because we trust this link right here, right? We trust that link. Any questions so far or anything, or anybody want to clear anything up? Maybe I didn't really explain that very clearly, or maybe I misspoke. Like the other day I said trunk. Well, I guess I didn't really misspeak. I said that trunk ports don't support port security, when in fact it does. It just depends on which platform you're using. So, and me and Kelvin Tran was discussing that in the Discord server, which, by the way, if you're not joined the Discord server, we was discussing that on the Discord server. There's the link to the Discord server, and you can see our conversation about that. He said, I believe that to enable DHCP globally, you need to enter only IP DHCP snooping in the switch without the VLAN 1. Oh, thank you, Kobe and Juan. Shout out to you guys for that one. Well, let's see. We'll do that after we make this request, since the PC is on VLAN 1, and then we'll see it enable globally. I don't know why Paul Browning told us to put it on VLAN 1 though, and then said enable it globally. So you will get that change to enable. Man, appreciate that, Juan and Kobe. Man, thank you for that tip. We'll check that out in a minute. I'm glad you. This is why I like fuck with. This is why I fuck with y'all, man. So let's see. Let's make that request. Right now, he set the static. We make a DHCP request. Do we get an IP address? Pray to the network gods. And we got a 169 address. So DHCP failed. You know what? Probably because we don't have a pool set up, right? So let's set up a pool real quick. Services. DHCP. Turn it on. So now DHCP is on. Let's make another request, but this time let's do it using the command line since we fancy like that, right? We don't use GUI over here, right? Go to the command prompt, ipconfig slash renew, if I can spell. You got to do a space renew, enter, make a request, pray to the network gods, and hope it failed. Interesting. Let's see, maybe we turned it on, but we didn't create a pool. What am I thinking here? We didn't create a pool. Let's do that. Let's create the 192.168.168. I guess we'll do the 1.0 pool, right? Yeah, the 1.0 pool. We have a maximum number of that, and then we'll add that to the pool. No, pool exists already. Interesting. Where is the pool? That pool right there. That's what we need to do. All right, so 192.168. I'm gonna put 1.10 as the start address because I don't want to give away another one. Subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. We don't need a TFTP server. We'll save that pool. He is server pool. Now let's make a request. Get on our knees, pray to the network gods and hope for a DHCP address. Failed. What are we missing here? We got a pool. We made a request. What else do you want from me? What else do you want from me? 246. We don't have a gateway. Interesting. I guess I'll make them 1.1. We trusted that pool. We trusted that server. Save. It is on. Let's see. DHCP request. What are you missing here? Juan, yeah, he said he pointed out he's doing the little the dab over there. It's still being failed here. What the hell's going on here? Let's see. Let's go back to the server. We missing something here. We have a pool. Let's go back to this pool. The DHCP, the gateway. We didn't have to do any kind of IP addressing on the switch, did we? Nope. 1.2. Oh, we didn't even give him an IP address. What the hell's wrong with me? Let's do that. Yes, we did. No, we didn't. That's what it was. So let's see that. 192.168.1.2. Something to mask of that. Now let's see. Get on our knees. Pray to the network gods. Make a request for DHCP. And we got an IP address. Perfect. But we got a 1.1. We should have excluded that. That's not good. But either way, we got an IP address. That's good to go. So that means we trust this DHCP server. What if we make another port? Let's say my daughter walked in with a server in her hand. Somehow she got a hold of one, right? And we'll try to connect the port and see if she can make a request. I mean, see if she could, not a request, but see if she could hand out IP addresses. So we'll give her the IP address of 192.168.168.1. We'll give him 1.5, right? And that was pretty much it. So now I guess we could look at the binding first. We'll go back to that server. We'll go back to my daughter. This is just a little bonus, right? He didn't ask us to do that. Paul Browning doesn't talk about my daughter over here, right? So show IP DHCP binding. We didn't get any bindings. We should have at least seen the binding because he made that request to the server. That's what I don't get. The PC is definitely in the correct VLAN. But he's getting an IP address. So he said, do you have a minimum lease duration time? Good question. We could go on the server. I don't think Packet Tracer supports all of that. Let's see. You go to services, DHCP. Nah, it don't really get that deep into the leasing time. Nah. Now, on the switch, you could do that. If we set the switch as a DHCP server, you can do all of that, right? So let's say we did configure terminal. We say IP, DHCP, server. I mean, not server. We got to come up with a name for it, right? DHCP, and then, not snooping. No, services. No, DHCP. And then, how you, well, you know you got to do server DHCP. And then, IP DHCP pool. That's what it was, pool. And then we said, let's say we did pool 5, right? Once you're in here, then you can do like lease, right? Where's the lease at? Where the hell is the lease at? Oh, Packet Tracer don't support that either, I don't think. Nah. But good question, though. Nah, you can't really... I thought you could do that. See? This is why sometimes I'm a fan with Packet Tracer, but sometimes I'm not. This shit is limited with its commands. Right? Network. Let's call it the... Yeah, that's... You put the network address there. I don't think you can set the lease. On a real router, you can, though. On GNS3. We'll do it on the next time. So you say, yo, you haven't enabled it globally yet. I'm hitting you with the federal STD check. Oh, yeah. In that damn spreadsheet. I remember that. I haven't gotten to it, man. But you said I haven't enabled it globally yet. Interesting. Let's see. Go back to Dhcp Snooping. Show. IP. Let's see. Let's do this. Show run. I'm going to do a show run. I know I always tell you I don't do the show run part, right? You said IP Dhcp Snooping VLAN 1. That's not enabling it globally? Or that's it just enabled for VLAN 1? Is that what you're telling me? Configure terminal, IP, Dhcp, Snooping, and press enter it that way? And then do VLAN 1? That's how you gotta do it? Let's do show run. Oh, maybe that's why. Interesting. So you gotta do it globally and then for VLAN 1. Let me look at the solution guide and see that's how he did it. I'm glad you pointed that out. Yes. Shout out to PS for that one, man. I thought that this would have done it globally and on VLAN 1. But no, this does it globally and this puts it for VLAN 1. Interesting. That's good for me to know. So now let's run that show command and look at both of the show commands, right? Show IP, Dhcp, binding. No, let's not do binding. Let's just do Dhcp Snooping first. There, now it's enabled. Man, appreciate that, Pete. I appreciate you for pointing that out. I thought we turned it on globally with the VLAN 1 one. Good to know. Good to know. This is why I'm going back to the fundamentals, man. Tim Duncan over here. You just keep it simple, man. Keep it simple, stupid. You know, instead of moving on to the more advanced topics where I have to barely do DHCPs on the CCNA level, right? So now it's enabled on those VLANs, which is what we did. This is what we did, but we didn't do this globally. Good to know. Good to know. So now... And obviously we trusted that port, which is the one connected to the server, right? We trusted that port with that command. Now we wanted to see if this PC was binded to that specific IP address on the switch. So we do, which one was it? That one right there, right? No, not binding. It's Dhcp Snooping binding. Doesn't have the bindings there. I don't know. Why not? Probably because he is not the server. He is not the server. I think that's the reason why. Let's see. What is the... Nope. Dhcp show IP Dhcp Snooping. Yeah, he would have showed it. He would have shown the lease, the IP address, the MAC address, all of that. So what am I missing? I'm trusting the port. I turned it on globally. Turned it on for VLAN 1. What am I missing? Juan and Kobe said it. They did say it, but I thought you said that they said, hold on, you said, I believe that to enable this, you need to enter only IP Dhcp Snooping in the switch without the VLAN 1. We have to run the... Oh, y'all did say that. Yeah, give me some credit, man. I got to chat, try to, look at the chat, stream, and look at this and type at the same time. So, yes, y'all did say that, and I just ignored the hell out of y'all, didn't I? I'm not ignoring y'all. I guess I'm just not reading the whole chat. So, man, listen. Now, how do we get this binding to show up, though? We need to see a binding. The MAC address and IP address of this switch. That's what we should see. He got binding, like, let's do this. Like, let me see. Does he have any, no, he doesn't keep any information on who got an IP address or not. He just has an information on the pools. He don't have any binding information. What he said. Yeah. So what I wanted to see, though, is the binding. Why are we not getting any binding information? We enabled it globally this time, right? This time I enabled it globally. But I don't see any binding information. It's all good. Yeah, man. I'm like ignoring y'all and reading y'all stuff at the same time. But I guess I'm half reading it. Yeah, we should at least see information on the PC because he is the request. I mean, he requested an IP address. And he does have an IP address for sure, right? Yeah, 1.1. That's his IP address. So that IP address should be bound to this, where is he at? That MAC address right there. Boom. It should be bound to that, I would think. It's all good. I'm getting the results correct on the binding command. It's weird that you are not getting it. So you are getting it. Are you using Packet Tracer, Juan? Let me know, because I'm not getting anything there. That's interesting. I don't know if maybe because I got to turn it off and then turn it back on. I don't know. Let me make another request. Let's do that. I'm going to make another request. Turn it off. Turn it on. Then make another request for an IP address. I got 1.1 again. Show our binding. That's not coming up. Interesting. Snooping. Trusted. I'm trusting that port. Do I need to also trust gig 101? No. I mean 102. No, I don't need to trust that port as well. I don't need to trust that port because you only trust the ports that you're getting DHCP offers from. That's the ones you want to trust. Like the ones that you like from the servers. So like, for example, we trust this port because we trust that this is the correct DHCP server up until my daughter comes in with her DHCP server and plugs into the data center, right? Now, this port we don't need to trust because he's not going to make any DHCP offers. He's just the PC. So we ain't worried about that. What happens? Let me just try it anyway though. I'm gonna just experiment, and that's what labbing is all about, right? Interface GI 102, and we say IP DHCP snooping, and then trust. I'm trust this port as well. Go back to the PC. No, I mean the switch. We save there, and then we say show IP DHCP binding, snooping binding. Nope. We do just binding itself. Binding is not going to show up because I am not the DHCP server. The switch is not the DHCP server. The server is, obviously. So, but you said it works for you. Maybe get another PC. Yeah. Let me try one more PC. Let me try one more PC, and then we'll just move on because I don't know what the hell is going on with it. I don't think it's a Packet Tracer bug because if you're using Packet Tracer and it worked for you, then it should theoretically work for me. We'll plug him up to what port? Plug him up to that port, 103. See if we can get an IP address. Go to the command prompt, IP config /renew. Get on our knees, pray to the network gods, and hope for an IP address. Is he going to? Oh, failed. Oh, because you see how port's amber right there? So the spanning tree is being blocked right there. That's the reason why. So we got to wait till spanning tree kicks in. Cue the Jeopardy theme song. Now spanning tree is not blocking it anymore. So now we can make another request. We got a reply, and we got an IP address 1.3. Now let's see if we get any bindings. But you said, yeah, get another PC. Show IP DHCP binding. Not binding. Snooping binding. Nope. Didn't work. And I'm not finna sit here and experiment with that because we are 40 minutes into the damn screen with just this little small ass topology. I was gonna do the DHCP server, then I would have to set something else up though to do all of that. Because we don't trust that port, and it's probably just not going to take anything from it. I think what we could do though is do a debug, but that'll be going beyond this book. That's not what he asked us for. Next lab is 10. I'm going backwards here because I started with 104. This lab is 103. But yeah, appreciate you, Kobe, and shout out to Pete. Kobe and Juan for pointing that out because I didn't realize I was not turning on DHCP snooping globally. I did it for VLAN 1, but not globally. So, lab number 103, page 443. Y'all ready for that one? I'm gonna try GNS3 for this one. Since Packet Tracer tripping over here. Don't know why the binding didn't show up for me though. I already have it launched up. You guys may or may not. All I know is that packet tracer is not going to work with this lab. It says, please use the following topology to complete this lab exercise. This lab will not work with packet tracer, so you will need a live switch that supports 802.1x. Well, I do have a live switch, but I don't have a radius server. That's why I said I'm going to try to do this in GNS3. However, I did not, I did not feel to get to do this too. So I will be struggling through this one as well. So let's see. We definitely need a switch. Plug that bad boy. Drop this. We only need one switch, one client, one server. I don't know if you guys are. Shout out to David Bomble for he has a tutorial in case you guys don't know how to like import appliances and stuff like that. Boom, he got quick videos to do all of that. I have this AAA server. Let me move that bad boy over here. And we only need one PC. This guy right here. GNS3. Boom. So now I got the AAA server. I got the switch. The PC goes to gig 102. Oops. Come on, man. Come on, man. 102. And then the server goes to 101. Power all these bad boys on. Yes, so I want to start them up. Close. Task 1. Change the host name on switch 1. How many times have we done that, right? If anybody in here that's new and they just started watching my streams, I'm pretty sure y'all know how to do a host name now. Now y'all do, because I've done that for every stream, right? 802.1x and radius is a huge weakness for me. Man, listen, me too. So we're on the same boat here. So maybe get another PC. Yeah, I did that too. But yeah, this should be 802.1x AAA. Like when I first got my job as a network engineer, and I was locking out a bunch of switches because I didn't fully understand the AAA commands, and I still kind of struggle through it. But all I know is that if I keep it offline and don't have it talk to the TACAC server the TACAC server, then I was able to do what I needed to do on there and then put it online. But I was locking myself out constantly. Luckily, my boss was patient with me and he understood I was kind of green. So understanding how to enable and configure 802.1x in your switch infrastructure is a core security topic when you think about security in layer 2 of your network. As an engineer, you must know how to understand how to configure 802.1x, blah, 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 blah. They didn't really give us they just said, you need to know this for the exam. That's all they said. They didn't really explain 802.1x. 802.1x is is it an open standard? I believe it's an open standard. It's a way to secure our ports. So kind of like port security like we did in last lab, yesterday stream. But what can I say that's special about this one? You can use a third-party device to do the authentication. So in this case, right, remember last time we just had the switch, the PC going into the switch, right? He put in, did he put in the username password yesterday? No, we did it by just the MAC address, right? We did it by MAC address. We authenticated with our MAC address. Well, with 802.1x, we can use this to store some usernames and passwords, right? And whenever he wants to authenticate, he plugs up to the network, but he needs to supply the usernames and passwords that is on here. The switch will, I like how I'm making everybody do the Cabbage Patch when I'm explaining them. So the switch will ask this guy, hey, is the switch allowed, is this PC allowed to be on? Let me see, the username, NetworkBruh, password 123, yeah, he's good. And then he's like, okay, you can come in. And that is how AAA works, right? There's two types of AAA standards you can use, radius or TACACs. And that's just a brief definition of what that is. 802.1x is to secure these individual ports, right? And like my man Pete S over there, it's a weakness for me as well. So this is why I'm going back to the fundamentals. Task 1, host name. We did that. No, we didn't. Console into that guy. We don't really need to do this, but we'll do it anyway. While that guy's booting up, task 2 is to enable AAA authentication on switch 1. That I know how to do. AAA new model. If there's one thing you need to know about AAA, that is how all of the AAA commands start off with, right? AAA new model. Don't know how that makes sense, but that is what it is. Hostname switch 1, right? And we want to enable AAA, AAA, which stands for Authentication, Accounting, Authorization. And then we just type in new model. That enables AAA, right? So we enable the authentication on the switch and configure radius server Configure the Radius server using 1812 and 1813 for authentication and accounting, respectively. Use CCNA as the key between the server and the switch. I'm gonna have to question mark my way through this one. So we know he said to, and we don't get it. We have the lab guide right here too. So the lab guide that's what I love about this book. In case you're following along, this is the book we're using. There is a solution guide towards the end of each lab, and as soon as we're stuck, we can do that. So I could look at it right now, actually. Configure AAA. So here's what we're gonna do. We turned on AAA, and he said to configure the Radius server. Radius server for sure, right? We can do either Radius and then Radius server, but we don't want to do that. We don't do Radius server. No, it's Radius hyphen server, and then I think you can pick this. I do at work though for sure. You can point to Radius server. We didn't give him an IP address. What does the lab say? He said this guy's going to be 1.2. But however, I just downloaded this appliance. His IP address, which I guess I could change, is 0.1. I'm gonna do what the book said, and he said make him 1.2. 1.2, and we'll make his gateway as 1.1. Name server, I guess 1.1 as well. Hopefully I don't break this. Save, right? Any questions so far or anything? What are you guys using for this lab? Because I'm gonna use GNS3, and I don't know if this will authenticate or do any of that for us. I've never used the AAA server on GNS3, so kind of new with that appliance there. I literally just downloaded it before this stream. So the Radius server. So okay, we need to point to the Radius server. So it's supposed to be host, isn't it? Let's see. Let's look at the book. Yeah, Radius server host. So Radius server hyphen server and then host. Come on, man. Right? It's the switch I'm on. Radius server and then host. Maybe it's just Radius and then server. Nope. Let's do this. Radius hyphen server and then host. Can't you do that? Nah. I thought you could point to the Radius server that way and say host. Maybe this specific one don't take it. Interesting. I thought you can point to the host that way. Can you do it with the router? And that's exactly how the lab guy did it too. Radius server and then the host, and you put the IP address and say who you're going to authenticate your users to. You're going to authenticate them to this AAA server, which I made him 1.2. So that means I need to make him point to that. And it is Radius. I thought it was Radius hyphen server and then host. How about this? Can you just put the IP address? No, you can't. You can't. But what if you just do Radius server configuration and then you press enter? Nope. Because I know, nope. You put the name of it there. Let's say R server and do that. Nah, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. I'm stuck, y'all. I'm gonna need some help. Come on, Fat Finger Squad. Help me out with this one. Let's check the router out. Let's see if he takes that command, because I thought you should be able to do that with that. I thought you should be able to do that. Console into that bad boy. Start him first. Console. He's starting up. Y'all with me so far, man? Has anybody figured it out yet? Anybody ahead of me? There's only 5 tasks for this lab, and the last one is a show command. So really just 4 tasks. But I don't see why that command didn't take. Let's do this. Go to global config mode, and we said it would have been Radius server. No, you got to enable AAA, new model, and then Radius server, Host. See, the router takes it. Interesting. All right. Maybe we should just use the router instead. I thought you could at least use the switch. Maybe the other... do I have any other switches on here? I have a Nexus switch. I'm going to delete this guy. Since you just fucking up my stream over here. I'm going to delete that guy. We'll delete this guy. And we'll put the router there. Since the router's cooperating. Host. Then you put the IP address. 192.168.1.2. What else we got? We definitely want to put a key in. But they also specified some ports. Right? So, what did he say? He said using 1812 and 1813 for accounting and for authentication and accounting, respectively. Use CCNA as the key. So, 1812 for authentication. So we're going to do authentication first, which is, where is it at? The auth port, right there. So auth port, and then you put the authorization port number, which he said 1812, right? 12. Now we can do the accounting port, which was 1813. And you put the key, which was pretty much the password, CCNA, all caps, CCNA. Y'all see how I'm just question mark through it, right? Because I don't know the whole AAA commands. I don't. Like I said, it's a weakness for me as well. I'm definitely going to have to practice this off stream. I think that's pretty much it, because that's it. The CR lets us know it's carriage return. There's no other commands you got to do on this. But let's look at the solution guide, because, like I said, it is a weakness for me. So after that, he gets out. Task 3 was to configure AAA authentication for 802.1x using the radius server already defined. Use default as the authentication method list. Now, this was the stuff that used to confuse me. Authentication, global, local default, list, and AAA. I don't know about you guys, but I remember calling Cisco TAC for some AAA issues we were running into, right? We basically couldn't authenticate with some users with a specific a 9400 switch, right? I had to open up a TAC case for it. When they read my stuff, they were just like, yeah, we're going to give it to the AAA team. There's actually a team dedicated for just AAA services. That's how deep it can be and how confusing AAA can be. It ended up being not necessarily a bug, but it was just a different iOS. They changed the way how these AAA commands work, and that allowed us to authenticate after that. But yeah, they have dedicated teams for this, so it's difficult for me. I don't know about y'all. Maybe because it's a VIOS, possibly. I think it has to be a TrustSec image. Oh, that's the reason why the host didn't. Oh, the host command didn't take. I guess that's why. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. But yeah, that was just the iOS V. Which one was this? Yeah, layer 2. So yeah, I don't. This is the only images I got. I don't really have much on here. Like I used to go to the ASA. I did have an ASA firewall. I want to start doing more ASA firewall stuff. I don't really know much about firewalls, man, other than the inside interface and outside interface and zone security zones, and that's about it, man. I don't know much about it. Let's okay, next task was task 3, configure AAA authentication for 802.1x using the radius server already defined. Okay, so I can't even decipher that. I'm just gonna go straight to the solution guide, man. I ain't gonna front for y'all, man. I know this is rare for a stream. I ain't gonna say it's rare, but this is one of those streams where I'm just gonna have to actually look and try to figure this out using the solution guide, because they said you gotta actually type in .1x and then system auth control. So .1x is how we do it, but yeah, I can't do it on this switch. I mean, on this router. So maybe this router doesn't support it either. See, I couldn't really, and you know, I was kind of iffy about doing this lab because I'm just like, I don't know much about .1x, but you know what? I'm gonna try it anyway. So I'm really showing y'all my weakness. I'm showing my weakness to the world here, y'all. ASA firewalls are the truth. Yeah, they are, man. They are, man. I really want to learn more about them and stuff. Where did the cabling go? I deleted the switch. That's what happened. But let me get the cabling it up. Let me cable them up anyway. Where we at? Where we at? 00. And then I'll plug them up to 01. But there go my cabling. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I'm glad you pointed that out. Let's see. .1x. Nah, see the solution, and I'm glad I went straight to the solution guide. I would have sat here and tried to figure it out. No, it doesn't look like it would. Do you go to an interface and do it? No, it's done globally. Oh, you got to actually turn on AAA. Here we go. AAA authentication is what do you do, right? Authentication. Because it would have been authorization. That's why it's an ambiguous command. The authentication .1x. There you go. Let me question mark to see what options we got first. Let's see. So .1x. Set authentication lists for IEEE .1x. So yeah, that's what I was mentioning earlier. It's an open standard. So you can use this standard, port security or AAA security, on other vendors as well. Y'all just know I'm a Cisco fanboy, right? So .1x, and then what he said was use default as the authentication method list. So default, and once you default, group, use the server group. What's the server group? Radius, and then the name of the host, number of the host. No, you just do radius. There is no server group. We only have one server, so we don't need a group keyword after that part. So default group radius, and that's it. And now he does the .1x. So .1x, nope. See, I guess this is not supported. And maybe it's like what you were saying. I have to use a trust sec image. Not sure. Tim Duncan working on fundamentals. We see you, boss. Everyone's getting up. Man, listen, man. I'm working on the fundamentals, and as y'all can see, I'm struggling through the fundamentals here, man. AAA was just one of those subjects, even at my real job. Like I was locking myself out of switches and stuff, man. It was crazy. And I was just like, man, I don't think they're going to keep me around here. But my boss was really patient with me, and he was just like, here, he gave me a switch. Said, go to the office, just play with it. You'll get a better feel for why it's happening. But if all else fails, just don't write mem, don't save it, and make sure you're disconnected to the network. And that's what helped me kind of like figure it out at work. But here I am in my lab having issues. I guess, yeah, I don't think this image that I'm using does not support it, because I'm typing in .1x, and you're supposed to do system auth -control and do it from there. But and this is done. It's a global command, and it's not working for me. So, but then he goes to the interface that the PC is connected to, which in my case is FA00. Switch port mode access, which we're familiar with that command for sure. But this is a router, so it doesn't support that. Right? Does it support switch port? Yeah, this is a router, so it's not going to support the switch port command. See that? Can you turn it into a switch? You can't even turn it into a switch port. What if you did no? See, you can't even turn it into a switch port, because this is a router. So I can't even do that command either. That's interesting. But I bet you if I would have done, let's see, watch this. I'm just going to drag and drop this switch here. Man, let's see. We'll power this bad boy on. Yeah, I know typically, oh, this is the Nexus one. Hell no, this shit gonna crack. Look at that, man. For some reason, I don't think I have enough memory to run that bad boy. That's why I need to get a server, you guys. Console into that guy. Start him up. Console into him. Has anybody else able to get this lab working? If you're using this book, like I said, it's not gonna work on Packet Tracer. It's clearly not really. Well, I'm gonna say it's clearly not working on GNS3 for me. I just don't have the correct images for this to work. He even says in the book, your output may differ from mine slightly. So that's the iffy part about running these labs. Yeah, I know once we wrap up this book, like I said, I know I mentioned that a bunch of times, we're going to be doing CCNP stuff. And I'm starting up my attack plan for that lab, for that exam. I've collected several video links that I'm going to be watching, including tutorials that I did years ago that helped me out. What else am I doing? I'm buying the CCNP version of this book, which in case you guys are just following along, 101 Lab Cisco CCNA, but I'm gonna do the 101 Lab Cisco CCNP for the next exam. And what else am I gonna get? The NRC lab manual. I'm gonna get the Encore lab manual as well. I am going to see if I can get a promotional copy for Boss on NetSim so that way I can at least do a giveaway on this channel. Y'all know I haven't done a giveaway in God knows how long. And what else am I gonna add? Matter of fact, let me just show y'all my study plan. Well, I'll do it in a second. Let's get back to this lab here. So now that he's booted up, I'm gonna see if that .1x command works. And if that doesn't work, then I'm just gonna call this a lab of fail, man, and then and just move on to the next topic. But I'm sure .1x is definitely gonna pop up on us on the next stream. So I mean, not the next stream, but the next exam for sure. We definitely, at least I know that's definitely a weakness of mine. And Pete admitted it was for his as well. The combo was mad educational, so we good, man. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Why is this guy not waking up though? He is just taking his sweet time to power on. And close this guy. Yeah, this switch. What was the last step? What was the last step he had us do? I just want to see. I guess I did like 95% of the book, right? This is probably the real fail. I'm gonna have to delete this stream right here, man. But no, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna keep it up, man. I'm show y'all my weaknesses. I'm showing the world, what I'm capable of and what I'm not capable of, and that's the point of doing these streams. Okay? So this is what he did. He ran. This might not even show up. Show .1x. See that the show command don't even work on here. It showed just in case you don't have the book, right? It showed .1x, and then the interface. In my case, it's FA00. That port right there. Yeah, FA00, FA00, and that command don't even work. Does it work on the switch though? Pretty sure it does. I'm hoping it does. Show .1x. There you go. And then GI, or in this case FA. Jesus. Interface. See the commands are. Oh yeah, no, it was the same. What am I thinking? GI00, and you would have seen it there. You would have seen it there, but I couldn't even get AAA to work on here. So this is a fail. All good though. It's all good though, man. I'm gonna go to that interface and see what happens real quick. Real quick. I just want to see that interface. GI 0/0. He did switch port mode access. We know that worked for sure. .1x port control. See, that don't even work right there. Where's port control? That's not even on here. See, yeah, it's definitely got. He's using a different iOS. This is more ICE stuff anyway, but I think you could do. Let's see. Yeah, let's pick another one. Let's do PAE. And then both. Oops, both. And then run that command and show .1x interface. Yeah, this is like Cisco ICE stuff right here, man. GI. What port was that? 00. Yeah, and you can see this is what he was trying to show us. But see, we don't even have the AAA server set up, so this is just like, yeah, this is definitely like security stuff, man. Shout out to cybersecurity. Professor Black Ops for this stuff right here, man. This is your realm right here, man. .1x and AAA and ICE and all of that stuff, man. But anyways, next lab, we typically stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next lab is going to be Dynamic Arc Inspection, DAI. Looks like we finished right at the hour mark. Y'all watch me fumble through that. It depends on Dhcp snooping. So this kind of goes off on the previous lab on Dhcp snooping. We are going to use a switch, a router, and 2 PCs, and we should be able to knock that one out. I think we'll be able to do that one. Hopefully it takes those commands and stuff. But anyways, you guys want to follow along next time? I know I said it a million times, but this is the book we use. 101 Labs Cisco CCNA version 4. Get a copy of this from 101labs.net, or there's a link in the description box below. It's authored by this guy named Paul Browning, co-authored by Farai Tafah. Experts agree that we retain only 10% of what we read, but 90% of what we do. Looks like I'm going to have to do some more AAA so I can retain a little bit more of this. But that's why I love this book, because it gives us stuff to, stuff to follow along and stuff like that. Anyway, if you have any questions, he said, for sure, you're explaining what happens with a lot of BS that happens at work. Yeah, man. A lot of stuff that BS that happens at work. But I can stop my fasting tracker because I definitely ate an hour ago. Yeah, anyways, that's it for me, y'all. Tomorrow we will stream 8 o'clock sharp. Y'all know how we do. Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For now, comment, like, subscribe to the network.